Hey guys, just Assassin Entertainment here. I hope everyone's doing well. Look, today I'm launching a new series called This Is How We Build It, and it's going to consist of quite a few small builds to add a few new ideas and more variety to our settlement building. So today we're going to be building a military checkpoint as our first build, and it's going to be based around an ATV, which I found in the DFVP mod under the military vehicles. So this is going to be a change from your typical settlement where all your guards are walking around, strutting around, looking the same. It's going to give us more of a realistic version of a settlement. It's going to also give us the ability to dress our settlers in ballistic weave clothing, and it's still going to look like there's quite a strong military presence there, and we're being well looked after. So the best spot to put these is in your entrance, exits and spawn points. So we need to keep all the guards together. So we need to make them look very self-sufficient, and we need to do the build so they are self-sufficient. So to help me achieve this, I use the guard map from the Better Stores mod, and it's a default guard map. So once you assign a settler to it, they will always return to their default guard map, which is going to limit endless wandering around with all your settlers, and we're going to be able to keep our guards exactly where we want them, which is going to be the spawn point. So with all that said and done, let's get into the build. So as you can see guys, I'm just using some standard timber flooring, and that's all you need for this build. If your ground's a little bit unlevel or a bit lumpy and bumpy, you can use the foundation version, but I still recommend having the timber on top, just for that immersive law-friendly reasons only, really. So we're putting down a half floor on this side, and this is going to be for some storage. So these guys can have all the goodies that they need to be self-contained. On the other side, which is the right-hand side, we've got the two full floor pieces, which is for the sleeping area, and then we've got the 3 floor pieces down the center, which is where the ATV is going to go. So I thought I'd show you guys this before I sped it up. So now I'll speed it up so we can get to the end product just that little bit quicker. So first we're going to need to place that down smack bang in the center, because we need to access the snapping points on the floor on both sides of the ATV. So we really need to position it very well centralized, and just remember to drag it to the back edge so we've got enough room for our guard post and our settler at the front. The next thing I'll be doing is adding these broken brick walls, and that's simply to protect the tyres from being shot out. Because in World War II, snipers used to shoot out the tyres of the military vehicles, and we don't need to say what happens next, I think we all know. So it's very believable to put these down to protect our tyres so they don't get shot out, so our military can make it back to the base at the end of their shift or at the end of their stint of wherever they're protecting. So reality goes, they really would have something there. Next we're going to be putting just a Besser block guard front or a guard post. That's all we need for this build. You can use sandbags and other things, but I'll just use this and you guys can improvise. So I'll just put something standard in place and you guys can improvise to make the build your own. The next thing I'll do is a couple of stairs will stop the settlers from tripping all over the place, and they can navigate a bit easier. Next, these railings, this is just simply to give them a bit of privacy with their gear. We don't want everybody seeing what our military outpost has, so we need to keep it a little bit secluded. The next thing we're adding is these awesome canvas walls that I got from Vanilla Extensions, and that's a part of the Master Plan mod. So I highly recommend the Master Plan and Vanilla Extensions because they have some great products. So I enjoy using these walls a little bit easier than shack walls because they're just that bit easier to work with. With the shack walls, you've got to be very crucial that you've got a snapping point to snap it to. Whereas with this canvas, you've just got that little bit more play. Now I'm using tyres here today. This is just a guard from a few extra bullets. The more we can have up, the better it's going to be for our guards. So once again, you can use sandbags and other things, but today I've just used tyres that you guys can improvise and put all sorts of ideas into this. Now this is just a simple divider to separate the guarding area from the sleeping area, and of course we just seen the dunny, or the old dunny box. Now that there is to put into the build so it does look self-contained. You don't want your guards walking around looking for the toilets, because that defeats the purpose of setting this up. We don't want them to leave the guard post, we want them to stay here at the checkpoint, so they need everything. So just keep that in mind when decorating too. So that's the canvas walls fitted, and they look absolutely fantastic. And then we'll just put a little railing up the front just to give them a little bit of privacy for inside. Now you can use rope to give it that little bit of stability. That's also from Vanilla Extensions, but this is looking secure, so we don't need any rope on this one. Next goes the fridge and the bed, which are the two most important tools, I think. The fridge for some cold brewskis, and the bed so that they can take it in turns to get some sleep during the night so they can perform well during the day. So the next thing we're doing is adding a small generator. Now that's going to probably operate about 5 lights, so the small generator's fine. This particular spotlight here I got from, I think it was the Mechanis. Yes it was from the Mechanis DLC. And you get it out the back on the desk, so once you deal with the Mechanis, you find the schematic sitting on a table in the sleeping area of where the Mechanis was. So go to the private sleeping area, grab those schematics off the table, because if you don't, you won't get cool lights like this to build with. So it takes a little bit from our workshop to activate, guys, 45 seconds our time, and that's because I have 82 mods running on Xbox One, and I think that's sensational. So anyway, in goes the old dunny box, because once again, we want it to be self-contained, so we need to have a toilet here for these guys to use. And as you can see, it's starting to take shape already. It's actually looking quite tidy. So we've got a little bit to go yet. So we put this guard stand in. Now this one I got from DFEP, and they've got a lot of boss gear. So this looks great. The fellow up the top can warn the fellow down the bottom that there's trouble, and hopefully they can take it head on together. So this is having a quick look at the constructed finish. It looks quite good, it looks very tidy, and it's quite easy to make, guys. As you've seen, we put it together very quickly. But you got to admit, it does look quite neat and tidy, doesn't it? And once we decorate it, you're going to be quite shocked. I was so surprised when I decorated this, just to see how well it come up. Which brings me to the point of our decorations. Now, a big thank you to the modders. If it wasn't for the modders making these awesome building products for us, I believe that Fallout 4 building would have come to a halt quite a long time ago. So a big thanks to the modders for giving us these awesome things to use with our builds, because it makes our builds look much better than what it would if they were vanilla, and the products are very good that they do. So a big thanks to the modders. So anyway guys, this is it, all finished and decorated, and hasn't it come up a treat? It looks absolutely brilliant. I tell you what, people are going to think twice before they come across this bridge starting trouble, that's for sure. But look guys, I'll leave it to you guys now to watch the rest of the tour. So enjoy the tour. You get to see a few bits and bobs that you didn't get to see before. And once again, thank you for watching. This has been my first time at commentary, so please cut me some slack. I'm sure I'll get better as time goes on, but I'm sure I got the message across sooner or later. So guys, enjoy the tour, and I'll see you again on my next episode of This Is How We Build It. Otherwise, I'll catch you on my next settlement tour. Bye for now.